Soup's on. Mulan stood in the kitchen, moodily stirring a pot of soup for supper. Grandmother Fa sat at the table, sorting through grains of rice. Neither one of them spoke. They were both lost in thought at the recent news that they have received. Mulan's father, Fazu, I think that's how you say it, had been ordered to join the Chinese army in order to help protect the emperor from the invading Huns. One male out of every household was expected to report for duty. As Mulan had no brother, it was her father's duty to join, but thought her father had been a great warrior in his day. Mulan knew that he was no longer young and was not strong enough to withstand any more battles. Mulan was distraught, for she knew that if her father joined the army and went into battle, he would surely die. Why must my father fight? Mulan asked her grandmother suddenly. He is but one man. He is but one man, and the emperor would never know the difference if he didn't join. Yet what a difference to our family it would be if he were to die. She sighed heavily. Her grandmother also sighed and continued to sort the rice silently for a few moments. Then she stopped and turned towards Mulan. You are partly correct. One grain of rice such as this one that I have in my hand is small and insignificant. Then she held out her hand and tipped the grain into the large bowl of rice she had been sorting. Yet together, all the grains of rice in this bowl could feed many people. The emperor needs an army of many, many people in order to defend the invaders. Mulan shook her head miserably. After that, if she spoke, she would cry. She was young and stubborn, and it was different for her to accept this sacrifice that her father was expected to make. Grandmother Fa was just as unhappy as Mulan, but the older woman realized that it was unless to protect against some things. She stood up and walked silently out of the kitchen. Mulan continued to stir the soup, even though it didn't need stirring. Next to the pot sat a small bowl, which contained a peppery red spice. She picked up the small bowl and looked at it thoughtfully. One grain of rice is small and insignificant, she said to herself, and yet a tiny pinch of the spice from this little bowl could change the flavor of this whole pot of soup. Perhaps, she went on, one person can make a difference if she follows her heart. Mulan dumped the whole bowl of spice into the pot and smiled. Soup's on, she cried.